Good morning, America. Today is Tuesday, April the 24th, and we're going to start off with a sound saying coming from 1 John 5:18. It says, He that is begotten of God keepeth himself, and that wicked one touches him not. He that is begotten of God keepeth himself, and that wicked one touches him not. Okay? And the second is coming from 1 Corinthians 15, verse 49, and it says, As we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. As we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall bear the image of the heavenly. 1 Corinthians 15:49. We are at the tail end of the anger of God. We are in section D, and it talks about deliverance from the wrath of God. Deliverance from the wrath of God. And we have several ways that you can be delivered from the wrath of God. One of them is intercession prayer. When someone who knows God well speaks on your behalf unto the Lord. And that someone has to be someone who has a healthy relationship to God, and someone who is obedient unto him as well. Particularly a leader. There are two types of people on this earth. Actually, there are three. You have your atheists who don't believe in God. You have your saints who believe and worship God. And you have your servants who believe, worship, and teach the Word of God. Okay. So if you have a saint that intercedes on your behalf, that individual would be able to intercede on your behalf. If you have a servant that intercedes on your behalf, that person has the same capabilities. But an atheist cannot intercede on your behalf because, first of all, they must believe in God in order to pray to Him. Okay? So intercession is one way. Decisive action is another. We're going to be reading Numbers 25 today. That is from verse 3 to 12. Of course, we read the entire chapter, but we're going to be focusing on the verses from verse 3 to 12. And then you have obedience, which if I live and nothing happens, we will address tomorrow. That will be coming from Deuteronomy 13. Okay, so intercession, Numbers 11:12. I will read that to you. It says, intercession prayer, and this is Moses speaking. He has been up to the mountain. He has been up there for 40 days and 40 nights, and he's coming down now. And when he comes down, he finds chaos. He finds chaos in the camp. He finds the people dancing around a golden calf that they had made. And he left his brother Aaron there to watch over the sheep, but Aaron was a weak leader, so they were able to coerce him into allowing them to make this image of this calf. Okay, so he had not only to intercede on the behalf of the people unto the Lord, because he was ready to destroy them again. And he had to also, at the same time, intercede for his brother Aaron, because Aaron was left in charge. Okay? So, Numbers 11:12 says, Have I conceived all these people? Have I begotten them? Have I given birth to them? That thou shouldest say unto me, Carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth the suckling child, unto the land which thou swearest unto their father. So now he's feeling overwhelmed, and he's talking to God, and he's asking him, has he given birth to these people that he has supervision over. Okay? And then Deuteronomy 9:19 and 20 says, um, 19 says, "For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure wherewith the Lord was worked against you," the people he's talking to destroy you. But the Lord hearkened unto me at that time. So when he prayed for the people again, the Lord heard his prayer and did not punish the people. And verse 20, the Lord was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him, and I prayed for Aaron also the same time. So at the same time that he was interceding for the people in the camp, he was also interceding for his brother. So like I said, you can have, it depends on who you have that will intercede on your behalf, but that person has to have a good relationship with God, and that person must be able to have enough favor with God to be able to get God to hear his prayer, and not and not have the people punished for their sins. Okay, that was the main thing. The Lord had to hear the prayer and accept the prayer. And if the Lord hears it and accepts it, then the punishment would be eliminated again, once again. So he did it for the people, and he did it for his brother. Okay. In Numbers 25, which is a very short verse, it only has 18 verses in it. We'll be reading it from both the King James Version and the International Version as well. It has 18 verses. It has predominantly yellow for family, brown, 2 verses of brown for sin, 2 verses of black for, 2 verses of brown for Satan, 4 verses of black for sin, 1 verse of silver, and we have several verses of gold for prophecy, and we have several verses of yellow. So those are the colors here: yellow, brown, black, and gold. And we have some verses that are uppercase lettering and bold letterings. That is verse 4, verse 11, 12, and 13, and verse 17 and 18 are all bold uppercase lettering. Okay, so in chapter 25, the Israelites commit adultery with the Moabites. Phinehas slays Zimri and Gozbi, and thus stops the plague. Okay, so we have a few people that are slain, and we have the people of God adapting the idolic practices of the strangers among them, which will be the Moabites. All right, so it starts off with yellow for family, and we're going to do verse by verse. Okay, I will change as the colors change. The first verse is yellow for family. And Israel abided in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. Okay, so they began to bed the daughters of Moab, and they began to adapt to the customs and practices of the Moabites. So let's read it from here. Moab seduces Israel in this New International Version. That's what it says. While Israel was staying in Shittim, the men began to indulge in sexual immorality with the Moabite women. Same word is here. And Israel abided in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. Verse 2 and 3 are brown for Satan. And they called the people unto the sacrifice of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. So these Israelites began to bow down to the gods of the Moabites. 3. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel again. Okay, verse 2 and 3. Who invited them to the sacrifice to their gods. So the Moabites invited them to come and watch them sacrifice to their gods. Who invited them to the sacrifice to their gods. The people ate and bowed down before these gods. 3. So Israel joined in worshiping the Baal of Peor, and the Lord's anger burned against them. Okay. Verse 4 is that first verse that has the uppercase lettering in it. And it says, And the Lord said unto Moses, here comes the uppercase lettering, Take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. So the Lord God said, Take their heads and hang them against the sun. So he said, I'll read it again. And the Lord said unto Moses, Take, uppercase lettering, take all the heads of the people. He wanted body parts. Take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. So if you want me to turn away my wrath, you need to hang some heads up facing the sun. Okay, verse 5, also black. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, Slay ye every one his men that was joined unto Baal Peor. So what did Moses do? He did as he was told. He started collecting heads. You can't talk to them or talk for them all the time. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Handle your business. Head collecting time. Okay? 4. And the Lord said to Moses, Take all the elders of these people, kill them, and expose them in broad daylight before the Lord, so that the Lord's fierce anger may turn away from Israel. It said take the heads. That's this part right here. All of that. Take that off. Okay? So it's not exactly what the translation said. The Lord said to Moses, Take all the leaders of these people, kill them, and expose them in broad daylight before the Lord, so that the Lord's fierce anger may turn away from them. Forget that one. Let's do this one. And the Lord said unto Moses, Take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. If the Lord wanted the leaders, he would have said, take the leaders. He didn't want the leaders. He wanted their heads. Okay? It's okay to translate it, but don't change the meaning of it. Okay? 5. So Moses said to the Israel judges, Each of you must put to death those of your men who have joined in worshiping the Baal of Peor. Okay. 6, 7, and 8 is yellow for family. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitess woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who was weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So one of them brought this woman who was crying at the gate's door. 7. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. A javelin is a miniature spear. Spears are normally long, but a javelin It's a small spear. Okay? So he took this javelin. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. 8. And he went after the men of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, and the men of Israel and the women through their bellies. Okay, so the women got it in their bellies. Okay, so the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. Let's see how it reads here, Lord God. I'm almost afraid to read it. Then as Israelite men brought to his family a Midianite woman right before the eyes of Moses and the whole assembly of Israel, while they were weeping at the entrance to the tent of meeting. 7. When Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw this, he left the assembly, took a spear in his hand, 8, and followed the Israelite into the tent. He drew the spear through both of them, through the Israelite and into the woman's body. Then the plague against the Israelite was stopped. Amen. 9 is history. It's silver for history. And those that died in the plague were 24,000 were killed that day. 24,000. That's a large number of people. That's a large number of people. 9 who began to follow after those gods. See how quickly they forsake God for an item that has eyes but can't see, a mouth that does not move, a nose that cannot smell. They forsake the true God, the maker of the eyes, nose, and mouth, for something that has been made by the hands of man. 24,000 follow this. 9. But those who died in the plague numbered 24,000. Okay? 10 to 13 is gold for prophecy, and all of 11, all of 12, and all of 13 is uppercase lettering. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, here comes the uppercase lettering, 11. Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, has turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was jealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy. 12. Still uppercase lettering. Wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace. Hallelujah. 13. And he shall have it and his seed after him, even the covenant of the everlasting priesthood, because he was jealous for his God, and made an atonement for the children of Israel. The Lord loves when you follow his instructions. That is the problem Saul had. He did not follow the instructions given to him by God. He followed most of the instruction. The Lord don't give you instructions so you can follow what part you want to follow. He gives you instructions so you can follow it to the letter. Okay? 10. The Lord said to Moses, Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned my anger away from the Israelites, for he was jealous as I am for my honor among them, so that in my zeal I did not put an end of them. 12. Therefore tell him I am making my covenant of peace with him. 13. He and his descendants will have a covenant of everlasting priesthood, because he was jealous for the honor of his God and made atonement for the Israelites. So that means that man's seed. Okay, when the Lord blesses your seed, he blesses those that have not been born yet. Okay, and he gives them a covenant of priesthood. So those seed were blessed before they even were produced in the belly of the woman. The seed in the man were blessed because of his action. Okay. 14 and 15 is back to yellow for family. Now the name of the Israelites that were slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish women, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a prince of a chief house among the Simeonites. 15. And the name of the Midianitess woman that was slain was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head over a people and of a chief house in Media. Okay, 14 and 15. The name of the Israelite who was killed in with the Midianite woman was Zimri, son of Salu, the elder of a Simeonite family. 15. And the name of the Midianite woman who was put to death was Cosbi, daughter of Zur, a tribal chief of a Midianite family. 16, 17, 18 are black for sin, but 17 and 18 are the only ones that have uppercase lettering. 16. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, here's 16, vex the Midianites and smite them. That means kill them. Okay. 18. For they vex you with their vows, wherewith they have beguiled you in the manner of Peor, and in the manner of Cosbi, the daughter of a prince of Media, their daughters which were slain in the day of the plague for Peor's sake. 16. The Lord said to Moses, treat the Midianites as enemies and kill them. 18. Because they treated you as enemies when they deceived you in the affairs of Peor and their sister Cosbi, the daughter of a Midianite leader, the woman who was killed when the plague came as a result of Peor. Okay. The moral of this story is that it does not pay America to follow the custom of the strange people among the land. It does not pay to give God your back and your knees to a false god. Let me repeat that. It does not pay to give God your back and your knees to bow down to a false god, especially if you are among his very own. The punishment is severe and it comes swiftly. This is why I said the way things were handled in the biblical time were precise and effective, and it was a great deterrent. And this is the way we need to address the crime that occurs in this country today. We need to address it swiftly with no mercy. Okay? And this is the only way, along with prayer to our God, this is the only way to eliminate all those wicked ones that are continuously, daily taking the lives of innocent people for nothing. For nothing, America. How long? How many more lives must we lose before we realize that these laws here are better than our own and they need to be implemented in our world? How long? How many dead bodies shall we suffer before we start dealing with these criminals in the fashion that they were dealt with in the biblical time? How long? Okay? Don't turn your back on God. It's a heavy price to pay for it. And if the Lord tells you to do something, do it, and do it efficiently. Okay? Do it and do it immediately. Otherwise, not only will you pay for not doing what you've been told like Saul did, but the people of the land will pay even more. And this is why I encourage thee that when you have these large gatherings, include prayer in it, and you will have the intended effect that you seek. Thank you very much for listening to us here at Spiritual Water. My name is Brenda Guerrero. It is a pleasure to share the gospel of my Lord with thee. And in the meantime, may the peace of God be upon you. May the protection of God surround you and all those you love. And may the will of God come from thee. Until the next time, enjoy your day.